Good morning. Last week I wrote a post on Facebook, as I often do, and it got so many great comments that I figured let's make a couple shows out of it because it's an important topic. It's a topic that is a little iffy to talk about. It's not comfortable, but I've been thinking about it a lot recently. And it was a topic about obesity versus smoking. Now, not going to talk too much about smoking today. That is for the next part of the show, of the series, tomorrow. But the obesity part, the comments, and this is what people seem to focus on when I talked about obesity being glamorized in our country right now, and that obesity is an epidemic, and that it does cost the healthcare industry money, and it costs us all more in our healthcare premiums. I got a lot of feedback, and it was great feedback, and I really liked some of the comments I heard. So I'm going to go the three major ones I took from it. One is people disputing that obese people cost health insurance companies and our medical society in general more money. And they said that's not true. Obese people don't cost any more in healthcare than anybody else. Well, on that one I have to kind of disagree. And I want to also make a disclaimer right now. I am not body shaming anyone. I have been body shamed my entire life. I was body shamed when I was a fat kid. And believe it or not, I was body shamed when I lost weight. I have been body shamed both ends for being fat and for being too thin, if you can even believe that. So I'm not body shaming. This is not about what you look like. It's about what's going on in your body when you are obese. Not a couple pounds overweight, not, the freshman 15, no, I want to lose 20 pounds or 40 pounds. I'm talking, and you know what I'm talking about. Obesity, morbid obesity. And morbid obesity is a disease. And the fact that it says morbid means it can kill you. It can cause illnesses that will cause your untimely death. Okay? So we're talking people, depending on your height and your body, your bone structure, we're talking the 250 to 400 pound to 500 pound people, okay? You know what I'm talking about, just so we have ourselves clear. People who are on medications or who have illnesses that cause them to be overweight a little bit or bloated around their face, not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. That's not your fault. So, let's go about the cost of obesity. First and foremost, we have children as young as 15 and 16 being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, okay? Now, while some will say not all diabetics are overweight, which is true, we do know that an unhealthy diet with a lot of sugar can cause someone to become diabetic, okay? And most children who are obese do tend to overeat sugar, sugary sodas, ice creams, cakes, cookies, okay? So, diabetes is not curable, but you can live with it. And it is a lifelong disease, which means that health insurance companies, if you get diagnosed at 15, will be paying part or all of your diabetic testing supplies and medications, possibly for 60 years, okay, if you live to 75. Okay, they're paying for these supplies for a disease that most people didn't used to get diagnosed with until their 50s or 60s. Okay? Let's talk about knee replacement. When you are carrying around so much excess weight, it puts pressure on your knees. Knee replacement is a surgery that is usually reserved for someone in their 60s or 70s. Technically, health insurance companies only want to pay for one in a lifetime. And doctors only want to do one in a lifetime. But we see younger and younger people today getting double knee replacement because of the extra weight that they've been putting on their knees for many decades. We see people in their 40s getting knee replacement. Now that could mean knee replacement usually lasts 10 years. So this could mean that a health insurance company, instead of paying for one knee replacement or double knee replacement, so that's 2 in one lifetime, if it starts at 40, technically they could be paying for 3 knee replacements in one person's lifetime. That's extra money. Knee replacements are not cheap. Okay? Let's talk about gastric bypass surgery, weight loss surgery. And believe me, I so admire people who have taken this step. It's an important step. It's not an easy fix. I did a show on it. You still have to do the work. But for people who desperately need it to save their lives, it has saved lives. But insurance companies do pay for it. And they're paying for more now, today, than they ever did before. And believe me, these surgeries are not cheap. They should be covered under health insurance. Absolutely. I never, by the way, as I was accused of, I never said insurance shouldn't cover them because they are life-threatening surgeries. They should be covered. Okay? So for those who say that, obesity doesn't cost the health insurance company and everything money, and all of us money, well, let's face it, health insurance companies don't like paying out their own money. They pay out our money collectively, right? So when they're paying out all this extra stuff for people at a younger age, whereas before they never had to do that, all of our premiums go up. So I submit to you that yes, this obesity epidemic in our country, we are the heaviest country in the world, by the way. Americans are heavier than any other free world or third world country. It does increase our health insurance premiums, all of our health insurance premiums. And for those who say it doesn't, please comment. Let me know why you think it doesn't. Because it used to be that just like a smoker, insurance companies charged you more based on your BMI, your body mass index. If you were considered obese by an insurance company, they were allowed to charge you more for your health insurance. They're not allowed to do that since the Affordable Care Act and good old Obama came in. And like good old Obama, a smoker, by the way, when he was in the White House and passed this law, insurance companies can still ask about tobacco use, but they are not allowed to ask about your weight. Some insurance companies, apparently, from my viewers, what I've been hearing, are trying to get around that. It is illegal. I'm sorry. I researched it. They're not allowed to ask you what you weigh. And if your insurance company is asking you what you weigh, it's illegal. But I think if you're going to punish a smoker for an illness they don't have yet, whatever, however you feel about it, then they should be able to be allowed to also charge someone who is considered morbidly obese a little bit more for their health insurance with the assumption that they're going to be using it more than, say, someone my size, say if I didn't smoke. I shouldn't pay more for insurance than someone who is morbidly obese. Anyway, that's another show. That's tomorrow's. That's the next series. All right, so we covered cost. Now, the other big excuse that people use is, well, it's genetic, it's in my genes. And they're not talking about the genes that you put on New Year's Day that don't fit anymore because you gained 20 pounds between Thanksgiving and New Year's. We're talking about your DNA. Many people still live under the assumption that if you are born to parents who are overweight, there's nothing you can do. You're going to be fat. And many times, because we see an overweight child, and then we look at their parents, and the parents are also overweight, it kind of is a self-fulfilling type prophecy, like, yeah, the parents are fat, so the kid's fat. Here's my thing. No baby is born fat, right? Kids don't come out of the womb morbidly obese, or many, many women wouldn't be having babies, at least not naturally. Who teaches children to eat? Where do children get their first experience with food and our relationship with it? From the person who prepares it for us. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds do not go to the grocery store and buy their food. They don't come home and cook in the kitchen and make their food. Someone prepares their food for them. Usually parents. In my case, it was my grandmother. My grandmother never met a food she couldn't fry. My grandmother was overweight, my mother was overweight, and when the kids at school were making fun of me and I said I wanted to lose weight, my grandmother said that would be impossible because we're Greek, and all Greek girls are overweight. All Greek girls look like me, and yet I would go to Sunday school, and the skinny Greek girls in Sunday school would call me a beached whale. So, I was told from a young age I couldn't lose weight because my grandmother was fat and my mother was fat. Then I found a picture of my dad, and my dad was skinny, long arms, long legs. In fact, I get my arms and legs from my dad. I actually have what we call the cling arms and legs. And I have my mother's and grandmother's torso. I have a very short torso, and when I gain weight, I gain it in my belly, like my mom and grandmother. But there is nothing physically wrong with me that says if I lower my caloric intake and get a little more exercise that I can't lose weight. I don't have an illness. Obesity is not cancer. It is not some kind of a virus that spreads from person to person. You are taught how to eat by the people who prepare your food. And I was taught wrong. I was taught that everyone in our family was fat, which actually wasn't true. I had a couple cousins that were actually quite thin, even though both of their parents were overweight. Their parents had 3 children. 2 of them never had weight issues growing up. The third one did. The only difference between the 3 children was the 2 older ones were more active physically and also knew when to say, "We're full," and push the plate away. Clean plate clubs are not cool. Children need to learn that when their belly says they're full, that their head gets the message, and that they push the plate away, and that it's okay. Believe me, your kids are not going to starve to death because they didn't finish the 2-ton plate of pasta you put in front of them. I was never taught proper portions. We used to have a lot of fun at my mother's expense, God bless her and rest her soul. My mother had struggled with her weight since childhood as well. But my mother never conquered her war. She never won the war with her weight because she never learned what proper portions were. We would take her out to a restaurant, and if it was a buffet, it was embarrassing. We would go to a party, and they spread the table out, there's food on the table, and it was embarrassing because she would bring back 2, 3, 4 plates piled as high as she could get them and still carry them. It's like, "Mom, you know you can go back. You don't got to do it all in once." She said, "Well, I am going back. I missed the dessert table, and I didn't get any macaroni salad." Mother. And that's how I learned to eat. I used to make an ass out of myself, too. I had one time I went to a salad bar, and I actually made a $15 salad. You know, they weigh it, and they charge you for it. It's like $3 a pound. Think about that. I probably had a 4,000-calorie salad in my plate. $15 for a salad bar salad. I didn't learn proper control. And when I wanted to lose weight when I was about 14, my grandmother refused to support me. She told me it was impossible, that good Greek girls should be overweight, good Greek boys, even though the good Greek boys in Sunday school made fun of me all the time because I was a fat cow, according to them. They liked good women, good for birthing Greek babies. Yeah, bullshit. So I learned from a friend how I could make my grandmother happy and save a lot of battles and still lose weight, and I learned how to become bulimic. I got an eating disorder, and it was scary because I was bulimic for 20-some years. And I did lose weight. I got real nice and thin, and I did damage to my body. I have no gag reflex now, so I can't Anyway, there is damage to my body because of 20 years of bulimia. And, you know, when I met my husband and he knew about it, I was honest about it, and he said, well, look, you don't need to do that. I love you no matter what. And I did I stopped binging and purging, and I gained about 50 pounds. And I didn't feel good about that. So what I did, because bulimia was no longer an option, I decided to do my own research and learn how to eat properly, enjoy what I eat, and also burn what I use. Eat what I need, burn what I don't, and lose weight. And that's how I did it. And I learned proper portion control. Sometimes people see me eat and they're like, my God, you eat like a bird. I said, no, I eat like me. I eat what I need. Some people will see me cut a cheeseburger in half, eat half of it, wrap the rest and eat it another day. Because I'm done. And I have trained my mind and my stomach to cooperate and be on the same page. Tummy says full, mind says food's really good. No. Wrap it up, put it in the fridge, eat it tomorrow. I'm also blessed that I do not have a sweet tooth. I don't crave sweets, and I am a little lactose intolerant. So anything with cream or ice cream or anything like that is not my friend. And nothing makes you stop eating something than getting a really, really bad lactose stomachache. It's bad news. So I learned through my own body telling me what isn't good for me and what it will and will not accept as well. But I listen to my body now. When I'm full, I stop. Even though I don't always want to. Because I know that if I overstuff myself, I'm going to feel like crap. And I don't like that feeling. And there was another part. Oh, and by the way, because I was bulimic, I never learned portion control. Because when you're bulimic, you can eat a lot of food and not gain weight. So I don't suggest that. Eating disorders are not a way to lose weight because you don't learn anything. You don't. I lost 50 pounds in 1 year because I was exercising and I was taking in less calories, and that's how I lost weight. And that's the only way to lose weight. And I've kept it off, I'm so proud to say, for 9 years. 9 years. Yeah, I fluctuate 3, 4, 5 pounds here and there, but other than that, I eat what I want in moderation, and I love food, and I love to cook food. You know that. You see my chef pictures. And now I am also almost 54 years old. So some people were saying, well, I'm over 50. I'm in menopause. I can't lose weight. Call BS. I call BS. I'm sorry. That, again, is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I think happens when someone turns a certain age and they've been married a while and their kids are grown and they're just, sick and tired of counting calories or walking every day or doing any form of exercise. They say, well, you know what? I've been dieting my whole damn life. I've earned to eat whatever I want. That's why you're gaining weight. You don't have to stop eating just because you're 50 or 60. But if you're exercising less, like me, I don't exercise as much as I used to because I have tendonitis in my ankle from an injury sustained while dancing. I know. And I also have a pinched nerve in my neck. So I can't do as much exercising as I used to. Knowing that, I eat a little less. I still eat. I had fish and chips last night. I fried up some cod. It was delicious, but I skipped lunch. Because I knew that my food for dinner was not going to be left over well, so I was going to eat the whole piece of cod. And then I just had a few French fries. Not a big helping spoonful, but enough to have the flavor. And I really, really enjoyed my fried fish. But now, the day after I eat a meal like that, I'm going to eat a little lighter. I may skip lunch. I may actually nosh on veggies and some saltines all day and just enough to fill my tummy and then not eat dinner at all. I can do that. And they actually say it's good for you once in a while to not eat a big meal, maybe 2-3 days a week even. It does not harm you. It actually helps clean your body out so you can start fresh, and it helps maintain a healthy weight. So don't be afraid to skip a meal. Like some people say, oh, you got to have 3 meals a day. If you don't, it's up to you. Everybody's body is different. My body is not like your body. But as far as being almost 54 years old, I am looking better. My body to me looks better in the mirror right now than it has my entire life. That includes back when I was bulimic. It includes when I was 90 pounds, 80 pounds. I think I look amazing at 54. Much better than I did when I was a lot younger and a lot more stupid. And I'm still in the size clothes I want to be in. I think I look great. I'm happy with me. And that brings me to what's going to happen tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'm going to kind of switch gears on this a little bit. And I'm going to talk about glamorizing bad health. Glamorizing obesity, which today in our society we seem to be doing. And I think it's harmful to our young people. I really do. But that's tomorrow's show. Please today comment on this show. I can't wait to see what you all have to say. And again, whether you believe in DNA, whether you believe in nature versus nurture, believe in yourselves. If you truly want to lose weight, don't let a self-fulfilling prophecy like a parent saying, our whole family's fat, you can't lose weight. Unless a doctor tells you there's something genetically, physically wrong with you that you can't lose weight, you can lose weight. You can do it. Okay? Don't let someone tell you that because you're over 50, you're going to gain weight. You can't lose weight. Baloney. Look at Jane Fonda. I hate doing celebrities here because I don't believe anybody should be striving to look like a celebrity, no matter how great or how they look. But she's 80 years old, for God's sake. And she's in great shape. Don't let anybody tell you that your DNA or your age or who your parents are or who your ethnicity is, Greek, Italian, it means nothing. It's in here. It's in your head listening to your tummy. You can do it if you really want to. I believe in you because I did it, and I did it because I believed in me when nobody else did. Political Paula, out.